What's up, guys? It's your boy WingsofRedemption, and this is Fail Friday. I'm doing something a little different today. Normally on Fail Friday, I answer questions people send in, but I want to talk about something else that actually is probably more prevalent to the name of the series than answering people's questions really badly, and that's pretty much the way society is built. And it's not going to be too long of a video, long-winded, but it'll go through to enough that it'll get you thinking. Let me go ahead and do a post warn that do not take anything anybody says on the internet seriously. Do not label anything fact without doing your own research. Videos like this are more designed about getting your mind sparked and sending in a certain direction so you can do your own research and come up with your own conclusions. Nothing you can say in any form or facet should be taken to heart. Just use this as a reference tool and not a encyclopedia. Alright, with that being said, that pretty much goes right onto the news media. And let's talk mainly about politicians here for a second. I know politicians might seem boring, but we're not talking about the ideology of politicians, we're talking about the actions of politicians. Whereas one thing that's pretty much been set in stone for any given time is all republics fall. This republic's going to fall, the ones in Rome fell. It always crashes in on itself because it's not self-sustaining, and here's the reason why. The reason why republics fall is because of white lies. People say they're going to do something but never end up doing it because they have the natural element of greed. What is greed? Greed is something that people want more than they're entitled to. The idea of communism was to basically lay out everything so everybody's on equal ground. But the bad thing about that is you can't pretty much gain prosperity that way. And there's that word prosperity. And prosperity can be taken two ways. There's greed and there's just doing well for yourself. You could be doing well for yourself and still not be greedy, because you're making money and you're making money based on your skill, but you're not going out of your way to make more money and to basically shaft somebody else. Point an example. My brother at one point, he got caught with a a marijuana pipe. It wasn't his. He doesn't really smoke marijuana, but one of his friends had dropped it out of his pocket into the pocket door of his truck. Well, he got stopped, and when he got stopped, it was found because for some reason they did a search of his car. And when they did a search of the car, they seen the pipe. Well, actually, when they opened the door, the officer looked into the pocket, and right there was a little pipe. And basically, instead of that officer being cool and realizing that somebody might have slipped it in there, he thought the worst, and all it was the residue, the residue of things. And he took my brother to jail that night because of residue in a pipe. He couldn't have been cool. He couldn't have been that. He wanted to make the county more money and probably get like a thumbs up at a desk, and all about ruining somebody else's life over nothing. It's not, he didn't really ruin his life, but he caused hardship. And you can take that in all facets. Pick any politician you want. Let's use a prime example or case. Bill Clinton. What was Bill Clinton's big line? I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Well, he got impeached. Well, he was up to be impeached later, where he basically stated in full detail how he busted a nut and he got it on her dress and all. Now he used to take cigars and put it in her tootsie and smoke the cigars with pussy juice all over him. Really, really stuff. You can find this in every format. Even Barack Obama has did what hypocritical things. And the reason for this isn't because they're all to blame. There's some to blame, yes. But that's how politicians are naturally run. They go with what people want. Like, for example, today. Today, Prometheus comes out. I'm going to see Prometheus either at 4 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And with that in mind, what is on TV today? Well, Sci-Fi Channel showing aliens. Same effect. They're showing aliens because people that can't go see Prometheus right now might want to see the beginning films. So Aliens is currently on. I'm pretty sure they've shown Alien as well. And that's the same vibe here. So you can't really go on things. Another thing that's kind of sparked me is the Little Caesars commercial. How many of you seen the Little Caesars commercial? You know, the $5 hot and ready pizza. They're dancing around. They make you think you need something that you don't actually need. And I mean, everybody has something they don't actually need, even myself. I've made, financial mistakes on stuff I don't actually need. And, there's variables there. Sometimes you buy something you don't need because you want something you don't need. But the real problem is we've lost lack of loyalty to everybody else. Humans are naturally a nomadic clan, and nomadic clan by no means that every human is going to get along or agree. We're pack animals. Just like there's wolf packs, there's human packs. We call them families. But families are governed by higher powers, such as republics. Like, for example, my brother, he got busted with the weed, so he got charged for that. He spent a night in jail. He had his vehicle impounded. He had his vehicle towed. And this all that in the same effect, he also has to pay property taxes, and he has to pay, sales tax and income tax. All of that to fall back onto him to put him in jail. So basically he paid for himself to go to jail for a residue pipe. And it might seem complicated. It might seem, he shouldn't have had that in his possession all the way, or he shouldn't have got stopped. None of that's relevant. And this didn't happen recently. This happened a while ago. None of that's relevant. But that in itself is the system going back on itself. How do you pay for, basically protective agents if they're going to be nitpicky and not protect and serve? And this is not by no means a cop bashing thing. Cops are the same tool as something else. They're a utensil used by a higher power. And a lot of people wanted to talk about me, New World Order and all this. I mean, orders do exist. They do. Do I think the Illuminati exists? Do I think there's like secret underground bases? No. Do I think that every town in the United States have some sort of, be it the, Odd Fellows, or be it the, the Freemasons, be it the Shriners, be it whatever. There's always a center hub of control. There's always old men putting old ideas into new heads. So basically, that's all set up to basically come up with this idea right here. You have like the Tony Awards coming up. You have the Music Appreciation Awards, so on and so forth. And if you look into that, the Music Choice Awards is rich people giving each other awards of how great they are. And the reason they do that is because people that can't really prosper, can't really get down or be held, the ditch diggers, the foundation builders, the guys that build our houses, the everything, can't really achieve what they want to do. I mean, our republic is held up, well, at least our republic is held up by the quest of becoming more than the class that you're born into. Poor people want to be middle class want to be rich want to be ultra rich. That kind of deal. It's always somebody wanting to go up. And what ends up happening is when you're going up, you're trying to get more and more prosperous, so you eventually start stepping on the people that you're going up the ladder. And like, people in the poor section don't want to be reminded that they're poor. They don't. They want to have these like royalty type figures. Like in England they have the king and the queen. Here we have like Kim Kardashian. These royalty type figures like Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is a multi-million-dollar person for the simple fact she's a multi-million-dollar person. She has no talent, no skill, nothing. And she is considered almost royalty. Look, she gets TV shows, she's a hotel heiress, she's whatever. And that saddens me. That somebody that can personify nothing, I mean literally, I don't even think she has a proper education, can become somebody with so much influence. Whereas somebody that actually goes out there and, feeds the homeless or does this, gets ridiculed constantly for, paying himself $50,000 a year So basically he can stay in the middle class. Whereas you have people out there making hundreds of $1,000,000 that might not deserve it. Basically the whole point of this lecture is just the point I made at the beginning of this lecture. Do research. Don't let anybody, including myself, tell you something and you take it to heart. Come up with your own conclusions and doubt everything.